Brilliant.
Hi, everyone. This is Andrea, and I'm here to talk to Charlie Davis. Charlie Davis is an amazing photographer. He will take you on this amazing journey in the Alps, and he was doing a lot of weddings. Of course, when the weddings were allowed, he was doing a lot of portrait photography. But he has got this angle that he takes you and makes you relaxed when he takes his photographs. So the reason I want to talk with Charlie about is, I have a little quote to read from my book, is your emotions are slaves to your thoughts and you are a slave to your emotions. So what it means is that you can get stuck in all of that. So I want to ask Charlie today about how he found his way out of it, because Charlie used to be my client for a little while, a long time ago, but how Charlie found his way out of that and built his mindset to a very, very successful business, of course, which has been affected by this COVID-19 and this pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, Charlie.
Hello. Yeah, well, thank you, Andrea, obviously, for having me on. Thank you also for being, adding your professional help to the situation. Yeah, I think, long before the pandemic, I'd had a successful photography business for, coming up to 15 years. But I think being self-employed, I had kind of created this prism of judgment around how successful I was versus, how happy I was. So almost a slave to, well, if I haven't got those bookings, then, that am I doing good enough? And it was very freeing to get Andrea's help. And I was so excited about this book. And in fact, Andrea's helped so many people I know through her expertise, but also making you really understand how, you can control your life. You can find time, you can be kind to yourself. And that can be walking or going outside with friends, but really building into the kindness that's within. And this was a great help to me. I mean, changing the way I saw the locations close to me, going for walks, taking time out. And that's not taking time out while checking your phone. It's cutting away from those things. And yeah, I'm very passionate about this book. Fear less, live more is a motto that I did always live by, but I'm not sure once my business life began, if I did always live that completely. Even though I'd be off in the mountains doing stuff, still in my head, I'd be thinking about my work all the time. And I guess what this book teaches you to be is release that child within. But so I'm not sure if that answers the question, but that's where I'm at now. I have an outdoor life. I've got a great group of friends that I found through mountain biking. I have a dog, which I'm sure was encouraged by Andrea's approach to saying, look, come on, let's go out, get walking, and it's amazing how little things add to a big thing, but it takes time. And here I am on the other side in the middle of a pandemic, which has affected my business, but ultimately I've been able to kind of look at this pandemic, look at myself, and almost, I'm not in an area where I'm smug at all, because believe you me, it's been a huge challenge. My wife has been affected by the pandemic, of course, my son, my family business, but ultimately in it, I have myself and I have my outdoor space, and there are things that I can control, there's things I can't. And every day is a new chapter in that. But as you can probably tell, I couldn't be more passionate about what Andrea does with her expertise, knowledge, but also her sensibilities of breaking down where these fault lines are, because we're all vulnerable to them. Everyone is. So yeah.
Yeah, but I remember the time, Charlie, when we started working together and I said to you, oh, let's go for a walk. And he thought, what? Walk? I don't do that. And we went to the Bournewoods, I remember, and we walked all along. And then suddenly your eyes opened to those possibilities, those different things that you could do. I also remember taking you down Crooksbury Hill. And I could barely walk up it because I'm not as fit. But you scaled up it, and then taking those pictures of the top, it just lifts you, isn't it? Doing something different, making changes in your life and taking charge of your life, where you can say, I can make those changes and I can do those things to become happier within myself. And yes, this pandemic has affected you greatly, your photography business, the weddings, the portraits you are allowed to meet other people and take, and it's affected all of us in different ways. But you have now in control, Charlie, which is what I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful to call you my friend now, because you're just amazing in that approach by taking charge of it and doing the best that you can, and which all of us are doing, I know.
Yeah, everyone really is. But I think it's, we really can. One thing that I'm really interested in is about the locations. And I think all of us have things close to us. It could be the park, it could be the river. But by going to those places quite regularly,
Yeah.
they become almost like little friends, you know. So it's like, oh, you know, Crispy Hill, when the sunset is there, you know, the Surrey Hills, yeah, we are very blessed to have those places. But even the park, I mean, I now walk twice a day, you know, at the beginning of my day before my son goes to school, and then afterwards as well, most of the time. I now, because I think weirdly the muscle memory takes you there, because it becomes part of what you're doing. And if you just have a little walk, even if it's 15 minutes, you come back, have your cup of tea, it tastes better than being planted. I think self-employment can be a trap, you know. It can be a prison that we end up analysing ourselves and judging ourselves, like, oh, how many jobs have I got this month? Oh, I haven't got enough. Well, I must be failing. And of course, because we're now in the prism of the internet, we are able to look at other people's successes, and of course we're encouraged by them, and that's lovely. But we have to take control of how much we access that area. And I think the great thing about a book, you know, is you turn those pages. You know, I know at the moment, obviously online as well, if you've got a Kindle and you download that information to the Kindle is great because it's a safe place where you can find that information. But I think very similar to the camera, you know, my camera does video and it does photos. So if I take my camera out and I take photos with it, it's separate to my phone. You know, I'm not anti-phone because it allows me to be self-employed and keep checking my emails to see what work's coming in. I've been very privileged last year. I did still have portraiture work. I had video work for some businesses, creating a commercial for some fairly successful companies, one international one. So I had enough to make it through. Of course, it wasn't like a record-breaking year at all. I got hit, but I was grateful for the small support I had. And but I used the time. You know, I used the time to go walking. I master my mountain bike, plan some little small meetups with friends, and I feel like I'm coming into this year, of course, like everybody, concerned about what's happening, but knowing that when things improve, I do have more of an understanding of how I market and tell what I do. And you realise you can't, you know, through the book, I've realised you can't live in judgment of what everybody else thinks about you trying to sell something. We all have to make a living. And what Andrea taught me was, you know, sell to your best friend. Think that you're always dealing with people that support you. If you can do that, then, you know, everybody else, well, it doesn't really matter what I think, you know.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Charlie. I really am grateful for you to come on today. But also, like you said, you've taken your time out of homeschooling and juggling lots of things. But I'm really grateful. You have a wonderful day, and we will chat soon. Thanks.
I can't get out there and get the books. It's brilliant.
Yes, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye.